So guys, this is some news coming in, and a TikTok star plotted to have a man who threatened to expose an affair with her mother jumped by guys just a month before he was murdered. A court heard today that social media influencer Mahek Bukhari told her mother Ansreen in a message that her younger lover, a 21-year-old Saqib Hussain, won't know what day it is. Mr. Hussain had been having a 3-year fling with the 45-year-old Ansreen, the jury was told, but he threatened to leak a sex tape they made to her husband and family when she tried to end their relationship. The jury was also told that Mahek lured Mr. Hussain into a trap on the night he died by promising to pay back money owed to him. Mr. Hussain and his friend Mohammed Hashim Ijazuddin, who's also 21, died instantly after their Skoda Fabia burst into flames when it was rammed off the road in Leicester on February the 11th this year. The prosecutor, Collingwood Thompson, KC, said the Skoda and the two cars pursuing it, an Audi TT and a Seat Leon, were travelling at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour in the moments before the fatal crash. There was a harrowing 999 call which was played to the jury this morning, in which Mr. Hussain is heard pleading, "They're right behind, they're hitting into the back of the car very fast, please, I'm begging you, I'm going to die." He screamed before a loud crash was heard. For arrest, Mahek Bukhari had boasted more than 100,000 followers on TikTok and another nearly 50,000 on Instagram. She had regularly shared snippets of her life, including her outfits, makeup and handbags, and also appeared in videos alongside her mother. But she's now charged with 2 counts of murder and of manslaughter as a possible alternative, alongside her mother and her friend Natasha Akhtar. The women appeared in the dock at Leicester Crown Court this morning alongside co-accused Rekhan Karwan, who's 28 from Leicester, Raish Jamal, who's 22 from Loughborough, who are both alleged to have recruited others, including Natasha Akhtar, who's 22 from Birmingham, who owned one of the cars involved in the alleged pursuit. Also in the dock are Sanaf Gul Mustafa, who's 22, Amir Jamal, who's 27, and Mohammed Patel, who's 20, and they're all from Leicester. Footage from police attending the crash scene at around 1:30 in the morning of February the 11th showed the Skoda Fabia in flames resting against a tree in the central reservation of the A46 dual carriageway. The car had split into 2 on the point of impact and was soon ablaze. Officers saw a body hanging out the remains of a near-side passenger seat, but in the heat of the flames prevented rescuers from helping Mr. Hussain. After firefighters extinguished the blaze, Mr. Ijazuddin's body was recovered, with the 2 men only identifiable by dental records, the jury heard. The pair had been mates in school, with Mr. Ijazuddin agreeing to drive his friend to Leicester that night, described by prosecutors in court as a fatal mistake that cost him his life. Collingwood Thompson, KC, the prosecutor, told jurors the 999 call was key to the Crown's case that the crash was not simply a tragic road traffic accident, but a deliberate murder. Of the subsequent police investigation triggered by Mr. Hussain's call and death, the Crown's barrister said it revealed a story of love, murder, anger, attempts at extortion, and ultimately murder. The 6-minute 999 call began with Hussain telling the operator that he was being tailed by another car. He said, "They're trying to block me in. I can't get to a police station. There are guys following me with balaclavas on. I'm on the A46. They're trying to ram me off the road." He told the operator he was driving past Ratcliffe College and was being chased by 2 vehicles. Growing more desperate as the cars ran into the back of his car, he told the operator that he could not read their registration plates before adding, "They're trying to kill me. Please, sir, I just need help." He gave his name and told the operator he lived in Banbury in Oxfordshire, but had come to Leicester with Mr. Ijazuddin for some food and to meet a friend. Just before the crash, Mr. Hussain is heard saying, "They're right behind, they're hitting into the back of the car very fast, please, I'm begging you, I'm going to die." Mr. Thompson, KC, said this was no accident, he knew what was going to happen to him. The jury was also told that the 3 cars were travelling at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, as the prosecutor outlined the final moments before the fatal crash in court this afternoon. He said an Audi TT was travelling at 100 miles per hour while chasing the Skoda just before it crashed through the barriers on the A46, the car's data later showed. The prosecutor told the jury, "This gives you an idea of how desperate that Skoda Fabia was trying to escape. If you ram someone off the road at speeds in excess of 80 miles per hour, the occupants would be unlikely to survive the impact." A fixed speed camera on the A46 took a still when the cars whizzed past at around 97 miles per hour. The Skoda Fabia was seen in the left lane of the dual carriageway, and the headlights of the Seat Leon were visible through the side window of the Skoda. The Audi was also captured close to the Skoda, as Mr. Thompson, KC, remarked, All three vehicles are virtually touching each other. Mr. Hussein's sister told police that her brother had become involved in a relationship with an older woman in her 40s in around 2019. She said the woman's name was Anzi and that she was married and had children, including a daughter called Maya. Mr. Thompson KC said Anzi was Ansreen and Maya was Mahek, who he said were aware of the mother's relationship and whilst happy to tolerate it, she was not approving. At first, Mr. Hussain treated his relationship with Ansreen as a bit of fun and they would break up and get back together again. But he soon told friends he had fallen for her. Data later recovered by detectives showed that he had contacted her 1,702 times between August the 10th, 2021 and February the 9th, 2022. In turn, when information from her phone was retrieved, she had contacted him 214 times. Some of those were for only a matter of seconds of missed calls. Over the course of their relationship, Mr. Hussein's family estimated he spent between £2,000 to £3,000 taking her out, meeting her at hotels and dining in restaurants. Mr. Thompson said Mr. Hussain had also recorded explicit material, both videos and photos of the couple, later found on his Instagram account. He said, "It is the existence of sexually explicit material that is at the centre of this case," he told jurors. By January 2022, Ansreen wished to end the affair and told Mr. Hussain this. Mr. Thompson Casey said he could not accept the decision she had made. He said various messages between them show he became increasingly obsessive, professing love and begging her to continue, but other messages showed anger and frustration that she wouldn't return his calls. On the 10th of February, endless calls were made to Saqib to Ansreen's phone, which were never answered. That anger and frustration that she wouldn't answer his calls led to him to take further action. It led to an attempt to blackmail Ansreen in order to persuade her to contact him. He threatened to send sexually explicit material to her husband and her son unless she agreed to speak to him. Mr. Thompson Casey told the court that Mahek messaged her mother on January the 4th, 2022 and said, "I'll soon get him jumped by guys and he won't know what day it is." The prosecutor added there is clear inference, the Crown say, that by this day Ansreen must have told her daughter about the threat Saqib was making about their affair. That's her saying, "I'll take care of that, get him jumped by guys." We'll come to hear he was being jumped, mostly by guys, and killed. Mr. Hussain later messaged Mahek about her mother and said, "Let her know I'm on my way, get her to call me," but she replied, "No, take the message. This year you'll be gone, Saqib. I've got every threat you've given my mum to expose her. Narcissistic bastard. Carry on speaking to her now, you will see movement soon." Mr. Thompson KC told the jury, the Crown says this shows Mahek Bukhari had taken it on herself to stop Saqib contacting her mother and if necessary was prepared to use force to get someone to jump him to stop Saqib. It gives you a flavour of how they were dealing with a threat posed by Saqib in dealing with the affair. He added a way had to be found to silence Saqib either by causing him really serious injury, to warn him, or to silence him forever by killing him. The revelation of an affair could have ruined Ansreen Bukhari's marriage and damaged her reputation in her community. It could have also affected Mahek's relationship with her father because she knew about the affair. Mahek was a social influencer and had a large number of followers on TikTok and Instagram, and the revelation of the affair might have been damaging to her standing with her followers. 4 hours before Mr. Hussain was killed, he had messaged Mahek pleading for a chance to speak to Ansreen. When she refused, he threatened to send pictures to Mahek's father, who was unaware of the affair. Saqib said, "I'm going to message your dad, show him all the proof, the pictures, the messages with her saying I love you. Going to send all the dirty videos and say to him I want my money." Data uncovered by police showed that around 8 p.m. on February the 10th, he was about to set off for Stoke-on-Trent, where Ansreen lived with her husband. He was traced leaving his home in Banbury and heading north. Mr. Thompson KC said the threat is that Saqib would turn up to the family home in Stoke-on-Trent, and that was something they could not risk. Mahek intervened. The court was told and offered to meet him with the mother in Loughborough before changing the location to Leicester. At around 9:15, as Mr. Hussain was trying to find out the exact location of the meeting, Mahek messaged him, "Sorted money." Mr. Thompson said the Crown's case is there was never any money to hand over to him, it was simply a lure to get him into a trap. Two of their friends said they were unable to give him a lift, to which the prosecutor added tragically that left only Hashim, who agreed to drive Saqib from Banbury to the meeting place. The social media star left her home in Staffordshire at around 11:30 at night, and she is seen on CCTV getting into an Audi TT with the mother Ansreen in the passenger seat. 20 minutes later, phone signals placed Mahek as being near Uttoxeter in Staffordshire, while Saqib had reached the Coventry area. Just before the fatal crash, which happened at around 1:30 in the morning, Mahek and her mother drove into the Tesco Hamilton car park in Leicester with co-defendants Rekhan Karwan and Mohammed Patel. They parked next to a blue Seat Leon which contained the other 4 defendants: Amir Jamal, his cousin Raish Jamal, Sanaf Gul Mustafa and Natasha Akhtar, who was the registered owner of the Seat. The meeting was captured on CCTV camera at a car wash outside Tesco. Mr. Hussain and Mr. Ijazuddin are seen entering the car park in the Skoda Fabia on CCTV. Footage showed the car head towards Mahek and the others, but the vehicle then slows, stops, and then drives off. Mr. Thompson KC said common sense has told these men that there was more behind the meeting than the handing over of money. He said, why, having arrived to meet, the Skoda just momentarily paused and drove off. The Crown's inference is that both men, or one of them, realised something was wrong. Both the Seat Leon and the Audi TT followed the Skoda from the Tesco to the A46. The 3 vehicles were caught on CCTV cameras along the route. The Seat Leon, allegedly containing 4 of the defendants, is seen close behind the Skoda, as the Audi TT containing the other 4 is seen jumping a red light as it follows a distance behind. Security cameras at the Leicester Bentley dealership show that Seat had overtaken the Skoda and is sitting close in front with the Audi close behind. The court heard this was around the time Mr. Hussain made the 999 call, in which he tells the operator that the 2 vehicles were trying to block him in. The court heard this was around the time just before the call to police. A call was made from Mr. Hussain to answer his phone, but his phone ran out of battery. Mr. Thompson KC explained to the court that Mahek's Audi TT was actually a loan car because her own car had been damaged, but the Audi contained a sophisticated tracking computer which provided the murder investigation with a lot of data about where the car was and how fast it was going at all the points during the pursuit. So this trial is continuing at this moment in time, but it's an update with regards to this case on this TikToker influencer. OGC, keep it locked, keep it real.